children need only money. Anything outside money, you are on your own. But money is like a bee. You don't chase money. You make a beautiful garden for money, and money will come. You set traps for money. That trap is having the right attitude, having the right mindset, having the right skill, and applying them to solve problems.
What you think, how you think is very important. Address your mindset first. You secure the mind, then you start talking about business. I don't know if you can check for yourself. When your name is mentioned, what people usually think about. What image does your name evoke? That thing that people think about, which has become your identity, all started from your mindset, and it resulted in the behaviors you put up. Then it became habit for you. Because it has become habit, that's why people identify it with you. But we are going to talk about a very important part of life. You might imagine some families and what they go through with stubborn children. Maybe the boy is already clocking 35, 40, and don't want to do anything that is reasonable. And everybody will say, set him up for the business, let him start a business. Some will even say, marry for him, let him get a wife, he will stabilize him. I don't know, have you seen those kind of scenarios before? They say, as a would be, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you first secure the ground. Okay, you can talk about what you feel on the ground. Now, when they're talking about setting him up for the business, entrepreneurship, don't suddenly be here, let him learn something. Have you considered his mindset? Have you considered the way his mind is? You secure the mind, then you start talking about business. If that is already business, you also have to secure your mind before you can talk about growing your business. That's why the 3 lectures we are going to have are structured. The first one will be about mindset and behavior, because that's where it all starts. If this guy is going to fail, if he's going to succeed, it will start with the way he thinks. That's why we are going to talk about that one first. The second one is about that entrepreneurship you're talking about, which we think can only start working when the mind is settled. And then the last one we talk about is leadership. If he starts as an entrepreneur, will he lead? Will he become the best giver of a certain service in this town? Can he scale? That's where we talk about leadership. They are products of whatever we have had, whatever we have been told, whatever we have seen. Some of them are lies, some of them are half-truths, some of them are true, but they have come to make up who you are. You are being wired every day. Most of the time you need to be rewired. You need to be wired differently from the way you have been wired. So that's about personality. That's the personality you have. They say that the 5 most important people in your life who you discuss with, if you add them together and divide them by 5, you are them. You are an average of the 5 most important people you talk to. Imagine if you keep company with Dangote, and these are the people you keep company with. The most important people in your life are the class of Dangote. Then, of course, you can be of a less class than them. Are you getting what I'm saying? It's because when you interact with these 5 people in your life, you are being wired, you are being programmed. They are putting things into you. Mindset is important. I'll tell you why mindset is important. 2 people were sent out by a shoe factory to go and market shoes. One was sent to a place where everybody had shoes already. The other was sent to a place where nobody used shoes and nobody had any shoes. This guy that was sent to a place, nobody had shoes. Not even their king. Has 2 options. He might start crying that, okay, this company doesn't really want me to get promoted. So he sent me to a place that where nobody has a shoe culture because they want me to fail. But he can have a different mindset. He might say, these people have finally helped me to land on gold. When he starts imagining selling 1 shoe to at least everybody in that place. However he sees it, however he sees his place, meaning that community, is all up to him. Does he see the cup as half full or half empty? If he is a stupid person, he might say, they don't want me to succeed. That's why they have sent me to a place that has no culture of shoes. If he's someone that has an eye for opportunity, he will see it as a finally landed goal. So it's about mindset. And mindset, like I said from the beginning, mindset is a function of your programming. You are not immune to programming. Every day of your life you are being programmed because you are seeing things. You are like a computer that things are being fed into. Things you hear as gossip, things you hear from other people, even about your personality. Most of the time is defined by other people, and you allow them to define it because they say things about you and you take it to heart and you say, this is me. You accept what they said about you. Okay, if there are placed limitations on your part, you accept those limitations, they become part of your personality. And that's why you need rewiring. That's why we talk about mindset and behavior. Planning yourself for the future you want. You want a certain future, a prosperous future. You may not be able to get into that prosperous future with the personality of the past you have evolved, with the personality of the past you have. That personality of the past, you don't see it getting into the future and getting into prosperity that you want, or getting into leadership that you want, or getting into the level of entrepreneurship that you want. What is it that you are going to do with that personality? You have to rewire it. You have to reprogram yourself. You have to unhear the things you heard. You have to unsee the things you saw. And you have to learn new things. You have to learn new things with your mind. What you think, how you think is very important. If I place a half full cup here now and say what you see, many people will say it's half full. And many people say it's half empty. Is there a difference between the personality of the person who is saying it's half full and the person who is saying it's half empty? Is there a difference?
Yes.
There is a major difference. The person who is saying it's half empty is a negative person. Thinks it's a negative most of the time. The person who is saying it's half full is a positive person. What it means is that for these two individuals, if you place 100,000 naira, the guy that is saying the cup is half empty is likely to be like that Bible guy in the talent who said, the money you gave me is small, what am I going to do with it? He buried it, right? But the guy that said the cup is half full, if you give him that 100,000 naira, he is seeing value, something he has to work on. For many guys in many homes, many troubled homes, where everybody has tried to see whether they will be useful to themselves. If you ask them, bring a business proposal for a family that hasn't seen 1 million naira before, that designed a business proposal of 5 million naira, where are you designing it from? And meanwhile, in that business, you are designing 5 million naira proposal. People who are major players in that business, none of them started with even 10,000 naira. I get my point. Most of these people leading their business, you want to go into 10 million naira, started with a weaver. So started with little or nothing. But the family says, think of something, let's fund you. You are giving them a bill of 5 million naira, as that's your money. Because usually you see the cup as half empty. Usually 200,000 naira means nothing to you because you always see the cup as half empty. That's why we are here. How you think and what you do repeatedly. How you think, yes. Perspective matters. What you do repeatedly, even if something is difficult, if you repeatedly do it, you get mastered. Remember the first time you learned how to ride a bicycle? It was very difficult. You were riding with your consciousness and it was difficult. By the time you repeatedly do it, you master it. It leaves your consciousness and enters your subconscious. You no longer need to think about pedaling, but you pedal well. What you do repeatedly matters. First, how you think, which is mindset. What you do repeatedly, the behavior you put up through that mindset matters. The gap between intention and action is a mindset problem. You have this intention, but carry out the action now. That is a mindset problem. It's because of your mindset, the way your mind has been programmed, and that's why it needs rewiring. It's a mindset problem, but it's not just a mindset problem. It becomes a behavior problem. You become the person who cannot start. The person who cannot start. Maybe because you are looking for the perfect day. Because you have many complaints about all sorts of small things. You justify why you cannot start. Because you keep talking about challenges. Address your mindset first. So it starts from mindset, then to behavior. Because mindset, if you get mindset right, you start doing certain things repeatedly, that's behavior, then it becomes a habit. You no longer do it with stress. It becomes a habit for you. Then it results in identity. If you say that, what do people think about? An energetic entrepreneur who can take up any challenge, it has become his identity. It started as a mindset, never said that mindset to behavior, to a habit for him. It just became a habit for him to identity. It has not become his identity. That which you do, everything is like this. Even if it's in the wrong way, even if it's negative, it starts from mindset. Let's say you have a negative behavior or a negative identity. It started with a mindset. Then it turned to your behavior, then you made it a habit, then it landed as an identity. As an identity means when you pass, what people say is an bad thing. Maybe it's negative, maybe you smoke too much, or maybe you keep late night, or maybe you drink a lot. It has become the identity. Drinking becomes an identity. That's what people know you for. If it's positive, it's still the same thing like the Dangote now. He has come to the level of an identity. When you mention his name, certain things go to your mind. I don't know if you can check for yourself. When your name is mentioned, what people usually think about? What image does your name evoke behind your back? Like your name is mentioned. So that thing that people think about, which has become the identity, all started from your mindset. And it resulted in the behaviors you put up. Then it became habit for you. Because it has become habit, that's why people identify it with you. It becomes your identity. Businesses try to develop the right identity. The business culture that will give them the right identity. So that when their name is mentioned, when the excellence is invoked. When their name is mentioned, excellence is invoked. Whether you are selling Omaka in the market or you are selling Oka. When that has become the identity, you won't chase customers. Customers will be chasing you. They'll be calling your phone. Oka is in the market, but they're calling you. Why are they calling you when the thing is there? They will not want to other people, so they want your own. Because your own now has an identity. I was going to buy bread last night and I saw bread with a tall label. The guy was tearing labels into two to put different loaves. I said, no, you're not ready yet. This is your identity. You know what image do you want to project? Do you know that identity is sold in the market? Do you know? Accountants call it goodwill. Dangote's business. The day Dangote said, I'm tired of doing this business, I want to talk to someone that he can sell the physical assets you see, right? Are you with me? He can sell the physical assets, the trucks, the buildings, he can sell them. He will sell them with the name Dangote. But that name has been developed, it's now an identity. Do you know that the Dangote name can be sold for more money than the physical assets? Do you know? The goodwill, when accountants value it, might be sold for more than the physical assets. Because he has invested much on that name. He has invested much on that identity. And the secret to making money is building an identity. When you build an identity, everybody wants to identify with that identity because identity shows excellence. When everybody wants to identify with that identity, you sit back and collect money from everybody that wants to identify with that identity. And you go home and relax. Other people are struggling, are making the money. Because they are paying you for an identity that has been built. That's how hotel chains operate. You see Hilton, you see Sheraton. You yourself now, you can build a hotel in this town and call it Sheraton. You go to Sheraton and get the license. Sheraton, you will pay Sheraton. They will expect that you are of the standard that Sheraton wants. They will sit in their place, you will be paying them money for using their name. You cannot become big unless you have built an identity that people can pay money to identify with. Are you getting what I'm saying? You build identity first. And building that identity, like I said, starts from your mindset, becomes a behavior turns to habit, and then identity is born. Mindset is the lens through which you see life. Some people see fixed life. Some people see growth life. Some people see life as fixed. Some people see life as growth. They are different people, they are different mindsets. So the only person that can appreciate the days of small beginnings is the person who has a growth mindset. He has already seen the end from the beginning that this thing, even though it is small, it will grow. It's not everybody that has a growth mindset. That's why that guy, when you say bring a business proposal, he's bringing a proposal of 100 million. He doesn't have a growth mindset. He has a fixed mindset. The person that has a growth mindset knows that even if it is 10,000 naira, that he can grow it to 100 million. That's the difference between the two of them. The way you see life, that is the lens, that's the mindset you have, forces you to take certain actions. The action you take is the behavior. When you repeat behaviors, they become automatic. See the very difficult way a new driver drives, compare it with a very smooth way an old driver drives. It comes from repeated behavior. You want everything to fall in place before you start, you are not going to get it. When Nehemiah started on the journey to rebuild the temple and the walls, everything wasn't perfect. He started. When he started, there were a whole lot of people, some other that were trying to frustrate him. He didn't stop it. He didn't wait for perfection. Part of why we don't even start is that we keep waiting for perfect time, perfect setting, perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. Perfection doesn't exist. And there's a reason perfection doesn't exist. Many people wonder, why didn't God simply remove all the obstacles on the way of the Israelites so that they could go through the land and take the lands and all that? He couldn't. Because if you remove those things, if you remove the people from being a challenge, maybe even wild animals will consume the small people. So there's no perfection you should be waiting for. Don't wait for perfection. Because those imperfections are part of what you will need. You need those imperfections. Those imperfections are stones scattered. You need to match on those stones to get to where you want to get to. You can use them as leverage. Now, another trap youths want into is the victim trap. They can tell you what government has done to them, what Unifu has failed to do. They go with you was in the hand that didn't come, and they can tell you how this thing has killed this economy, but they can still see people building houses anyway. They will tell you family how patronizing their father was. If only their father didn't divorce their mother, if only their father was more responsible and not stupid, drinking, and neglecting the family. If only, true, these things are factors and they exist. But when you are trained to think in terms of this, remember that even people that were dug up from the ground, sold into slavery and all that, still made it. So these things are not even excuses. That victim trap, run away from it. Don't begin to style yourself as a victim. If you make yourself a victim, you become a victim. Run away from the victim trap, from the if only I completed my education. There are many people that didn't complete and are employing graduates. If only my father didn't divorce, there was a whole lot of people come from broken homes and they made it. If only, there is no if only that works. Quit the victim trap. Now the deficiency trap says I cannot start. Where will I find 100,000? I don't have 100,000. If you ask where will I find 100,000, the deficiency trap stops at I don't have 100,000 naira. I don't have 100,000 naira is not an optimistic view of life. It's not looking at. It's not asking how do I get 100,000 naira. There's a difference between the guy that says, forget it, I don't have 100,000 naira, and the guy that says, where did I get 100,000 naira? How do I begin to get 100,000 naira? They are two different guys. You may want a certain behavior. You may need to incentivize that desired behavior. And when you want to do that, do not rely on willpower. Willpower will fail you. Willpower cannot carry you. So what do? Delete the app completely. What do? Stop taking that road. What do? Stop wearing that clothes. But what we are saying is that you will not rely on willpower. You have to do certain things. You have to exercise agency in the course of managing your mindset. That's one. No? The second one is that you can pay hard tasks. Hard tasks that seems not to go. Every time you want to eat, it doesn't want to come. Every time you can pay it with a reward. I tell my children, if you want to find time to watch Premiership, English Premier League. End the time first. How do you end the time? You can say study time. You can say, okay, because I will watch Premiership on Saturday, let me commit 2 more hours to my studies so that I'll end the time. That's very hard task with a reward. Let the reward not just come. Pay it with hard task. Still the task is hard. Pay it with the reward. They say, after I do 1 hour coding, I will watch 1 episode of maybe your favorite movie. Now, you have to end leisure. You cannot see leisure as that relaxation, as something that should just come. That relaxation has to be end. If you want to relax, you ask yourself, have I ended this relaxation? If you have not ended it, you end it first by doing the work that will justify that relaxation. If you want to watch EPL on Saturday, you end credits study first. You don't need 20 new habits. You need to double down on one good habit, and kill 1 bad one. If you say every month I'll kill 1 bad habit and develop 1 good one, you will be on your way to identity change. Identity changes when behavior votes change. When you change behavior gradually, your identity will change. People take notice. Oh, that guy is not coming early. He's not one of the first arrived in any meeting. He used to come in 50 minutes into every meeting. People will notice it, and the identity will change with it. Now, mindset and behavior in 3 real areas. You start with money. What's the fixed mindset about money? That money is able only for the rich, that kind of thing. And it affects behavior. Because you spend first and save later. That's what will come into your head when you see money in those terms. But what's the growth mindset? I can learn money skills. I will pay myself first as I make money. I will automate savings. Savings will become part of me. That's a growth mindset. You don't just spend money, you pay yourself. Paying yourself makes you prudent in your spending. Like all the money has been coming, you say, all this money I've earned, which one is my salary? You remove your salary first. All the other ones are not your salary. So the way you handle them will be different from when you see the entire money you earned as your salary. Your salary is just a bit of the entire money you earned. If you treat all the money you earn as salary, you will be poor. Pay yourself salary from the money you got. See the others as maybe investment funds and all that. The one that is your salary is the one you can spend with. Your disposable income comes from the one you have the amount as the one you earned. All others are for investment and for whatever it is. The behavior that comes from being fixed in mentality when it comes to tech is that you avoid AI, you avoid many tools, your phone has many functions, but you cannot handle any of them because you are fixed in your mindset. But you can learn the growth thing there. What is the growth in skills and career? There. You can say, I can learn 1 tool per month. They say AI is learning now, and let me even find time and learn it. The behavior that can come, like you can say, okay, you can do 30 minutes daily course on YouTube, on Coursera, whatever. Now, health. Fixed mindset says, my family is just this way. Diabetes is not in our family. It's our DNA, it's our DNA. So you do nothing about it because you say it's our thing. You say you claim diabetes as diabetes is your thing. Or you claim being overweight, obesity, that it runs in your family. No, that's not good enough. It takes less than 2 minutes. You can do it now. For instance, there's an uncle that has been secretly craving that you send him a text. A text to say, forget that thing. A text to say, I'm no longer thinking of that thing. A text to say, yeah, I know that you might be feeling this way about this thing, but put it behind you and put it behind you. Just that simple text can change that guy's life. But you're not going to do it because you don't want to do it, and it doesn't take 2 minutes. So no, you can reply a text that you have been putting off, and it takes less than 2 minutes. Or you can send an email that takes less than 2 minutes that can change a whole lot of things in your family. Or you can pack that bag and go on that trip. Or you can tidy that room. We talk about it because procrastination is a mindset issue. say, let me put it off, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. That's the problem with every day my wife will say, this car needs availability. I'll say, we'll do it. I'll do it when I find the time. Most of the time, when I find the time, the money for the availability will have gone. When I find the money, the time will no longer be there. Those kind of things. So that procrastination. The behavior it needs to delay. The result is that things pile up or down, and then you get confused because you don't know where to start because things are piled up. Now, action creates motivation. It's not the other way around. It's not the motivation that will create the action. The problem is that we want to be motivated to do the action, and that's where we get it wrong. The right thing is that we do action and then it motivates us. When you do carry out an action, you feel good in what you have done, and then you are motivated to do more. But we want to be motivated first to now carry out the action. That's where the procrastination comes. That's the problem. Now, in closing, you know what we have been discussing here is about how you can form a new identity, how people can know you for certain new beautiful things. I would say it starts from your mindset, and then it leads you to certain behaviors, and then those behaviors compound to a habit, and that habit is made manifest so that people can perceive it, and then people will give you a new identity. Mindset shifts your belief, behavior proves it. You can repeat this 6 days, and then you have your new identity. If you consistently do this thing for 66 days, you have already achieved a new identity for yourself. Everybody needs a mindset reset. Everybody needs a behavior reset. Most of us want to be better at what we do. Most of us want to even start doing it, but we haven't started. So everybody needs this kind of discussion.
African Nigeria need only money. Anything outside money, you are on your own.
You talk sense. If you are not talking about money, you talk sense.
Can you see it? But this thing that we have been told today is worth more than money. Because if you are able to, if you should be sensitive enough, that time he was lecturing, you are supposed to have been identifying things you need to be doing in whatever thing you are doing to leverage, as in to take advantage over your colleagues in that sector, or where to upgrade, or where to adjust, or changes you need to make. Our foundation saw agriculture. When you see this aggregate family step camp, you'll be like, these people come and hold their agri here, and what are they even teaching us? They are telling us stories. Is this what we are here for? We know that agriculture as a concept is a very simple word that through it goes about production, processing, distribution, consumption, even waste management or recycling. That is why we use this word agriculture, such that when we bring you here, we have watered the ground. You know what you need. Know that you need a positive attitude before you can grow. If you don't have that growth mindset, you cannot grow. You will just be chasing money. Persons chase after money. But money is like a bee. You don't chase money. You make a beautiful garden for money, and money will come. You set traps for money. That trap is having the right attitude, having the right mindset, having the right skill, and applying them to solve problems. Before you know it, money is coming. They are flying to come and taste on that flower, take the nectar. Naturally, you become what you want to be.